Greetings and hello. This is the first of many screencasts that we'll be doing together for the course IS501, Practices of Worship and Prayer. This first screencast is going to talk about the syllabus. So, here we go, talking about our course syllabus, which you can download on the Moodle page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, and we're going to go through this just like we're going through it in a live classroom. I'm going to walk you through the syllabus, talk about course expectations, and then if you have any questions about what we cover here, please email me, or better, post in the forums, because if you have a question, chances are one of your colleagues also has the same question. So let's go through the syllabus. IS501, the Practice of Worship, Fuller Theological Seminary, Fuller Online. My name is Joseph Novak, and I will be your instructor. Here's my email address. Feel free to email me if you have questions about the course. You can email me, but you may not get a response right away. I'll do my best to reply promptly if your email requires prompt action. But if you have a question, I devote Fridays to coursework. And I will be spending Fridays in getting lectures prepared and uploaded and grading done and answering emails. So if you email me on Monday, there is a good chance I will not email you back until Friday. Course. You have already known this because you've signed up for it. This course will explore practices oriented toward the formation of God's people through personal and corporate prayer and worship in light of the Bible, history, theology, cross-cultural studies, and ritual studies. So I hope by the end of this course, you are able to say, we talked about the Bible, we talked about history, we talked about theology, we talked about cross-cultural studies, and we've talked about ritual studies. And I feel now at the end of this course that I have a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more some more tools in my toolbox to help me understand and analyze worship. You can read the learning outcomes on your own. I want to highlight the very final one, that the final outcome of this course is that you will construct a plan for your life that includes personal and corporate prayer and worship while you are a student at Fuller Seminary. Our course is conducted online, 10 weeks long with 1 week of exams, and we have an asynchronous schedule, which means that in some other institutions you might be on a synchronized schedule where you're expected to be online at a particular time each week. This is asynchronous, which means that the course is largely driven by your own pace. Each week a new module will unlock that has a lecture, assignments, reading requirements, forums, different things, additional articles or things online. And so it's sort of like a gated asynchronous schedule where you're expected to complete the assignments each week for the course. Okay, we'll be in class roughly 40 hours, which is on par with what you are normally accustomed to for a 4-unit course. You are required to interact with the material, with each other, and with the instructor regularly through online discussions, reading, and other assignments that promote active learning. That should make abundant sense. All right. Ready? Oh, there we go. Here's our reading list. You can see that we have essentially 2 sections of reading. We have the required reading, and we have our course reader. Okay? The required reading are books that you are required to own. Okay? So you want to pick up these volumes. You can do it through Amazon. If you're in Pasadena, you can stop in at the bookstore at Archives and pick up these books. If you have access to a theological library and you can check them out, by all means, go for it. But these are the books, the top required reading. These are the books that we're going to read most of in their entirety. Course reader. These are chapters or articles that we aren't going to expect you to purchase the entire volume, but these are materials that we think are very important for you to know and to have. And they're required reading still, but you are not required to buy the entire work. We've provided for you PDF scans of all of these on the course e-reserves page, which is on the right-hand side of the Moodle page, and we'll do a Moodle tour later, so for right now, just trust me, it's there. The e-reserves for this course are up, and you have access to all of these articles. So pay attention in the schedule. when you are reading these. You'll see in the schedule a note CR, which means course reader, and I'll reference that when we get there. Okay. Our assignments and assessment. You can kind of see here on the right-hand side that students enrolled in IS501 will have completed the following assignments. These assignments form the primary assessment of student performance. Their weight is relative to length, importance, and amount of time expected to complete them. The pie chart on the right illustrates the division of weights for each assignment category. Okay, so you can see here, if we were just going to go around, forum posts are worth 10%. Forum replies are worth 10%. Your midterm papers are worth 25%. Observation report, 15%. Group project, 20%. And your final paper is 20%. For ease of grading and interpretation on your part, all of the assignments are scored on a 10-point scale. Okay, so every assignment you'll get back 0 to 10. However, due to weighting, this will mean more or less depending on the particular assignment. All right, so you don't need to worry about weighting. Moodle handles the heavy lifting there. For now, you can just look at an individual assignment. I'm going to grade on a 0 to 10 scale. And when all is said and done, we're going to give these percentage assignments to them. So a 5 in forum posts is not going to mean as much as a 5 in your midterm paper, for example. Okay. Your grade can be found by going to the course Moodle site, navigating to Gradebook, which is on the left-hand margin area. The gradebook will be updated weekly on Fridays. However, if you have questions about your grade, please let me know. All right. Because of the online nature of this course, class discussion, as is conventionally understood, will not be possible. In order to facilitate the presence of a learning community, students will be placed into learning groups of 4 to 5 students. These groups will be your primary audience for your weekly forum posts and will also be the colleagues to whom you write weekly replies. These groups will function as your partners for the group project assignment, which is due week 8, and the instructor will also post in these groups throughout the term, offering feedback and input on the topic at hand. So these groups that you're placed in, I will send out at the very week 1 of this course. End of this week, I will be sending out to you a list of who is in what group, and these groups will be who you'll be writing your posts to, and who you'll be responding to, and who you'll work with for a group project. Okay, now this is a really important piece, and I have to always come back to this when I teach online. The course week. The weekly schedule for this course runs Monday at 12:01 a.m. through Sunday 11:59 p.m. So Sunday is the final day of each week. Sundays are the day of the week when almost all of your assignments must be submitted. Okay, the only exception to this are your weekly forum posts and your final paper, but I will talk about those when we get to it. Okay, so for now, you need to start thinking Monday through Sunday. All of your assignments need to be in on Sunday night. Monday morning, a new module opens. All right, so plan your weeks accordingly. All right, let's see if I can back up again. All right, assignment descriptions. Let's go through each of the assignments. There are 5 types of assignments in this course, and some of these have multiple iterations, and some of them are one-off assignments. Okay, let's talk about the one that has multiple iterations, your forum posts and replies. Every week, I will post on Monday a topic. This topic may be a response to one of your assigned readings. It might be something that is pertinent, found on an article or some of my own thoughts. And you'll be expected to, in your groups, reply, to make a post, to interact critically with what is given. Okay? 250 words, not much, but we're talking about 4 paragraphs maybe. Okay? Solid writing, concise writing. Please don't go on and on and on. This is similar to talking in class. Give me 4 paragraphs at the most. Okay? These posts are due every Friday. So I'm going to give you the topic on Monday. You're going to give me your post on Friday. They're going to be done in your groups. Your group members will then, you and your group members will then have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to reply to your post. Now, your group has 4 or 5 members. You're expected to reply at least twice, so to 2 different colleagues. And I'm expecting that these replies are not just, I love it, hashtag great work, but that this is like, this is 75 to 100 words, thoughtful feedback, critical feedback. Why do you agree? Why do you disagree? Why do you remain otherwise unmoved? Just an opportunity for you to give good, solid feedback. Okay? And in the ideal world, then the original poster would then have an opportunity to give additional, to reply again and to keep the conversation going. So forum posts are due Friday. Forum replies are due Sunday. These are graded separately. So if you do your post but don't do your replies, those are 2 separate grades. If you do your replies and don't do your posts, then again, 2 separate categories. Okay? Each of those are worth 10% of your grade. Okay, secondly, the midterm paper. Due Sunday, November 2nd, which is All Saints Day, if you're keeping track. You will be expected to compose a 2,000 to 2,500 word paper that presents your understanding of the Bible's perspective on worship and the role the Bible plays within Christian worship. Okay? So the first half of this course is dealing with the biblical foundations of Christian worship. We're going to be talking about the Old Testament and the Psalms and the New Testament. And the New Testament and beyond, and a little bit of a history lesson. And you will be expected to put into words an essay that is not just a sort of dumping out of what other people said in your readings, but what do you think? Now that you've seen it, now that you've heard different, the Peterson book and other books are going to give you a perspective. I'm going to give you a perspective, and it's up to you now to say, how do I wrestle with what does the Bible say about worship, and what does the Bible do in worship? Okay, that's your midterm paper. Okay, it's due November 2nd. Third, your group project. By Sunday, November 23rd. You and your group mates will be working together to discuss and respond to a pastoral case study that deals with the topic of corporate worship as a practice. Each group will respond to the same case study. The case study will be answered in 2 parts. Part A, a theological response of about 1,000 words, and then Part B, a 200-word or suggested service order that addresses the concerns in the first part. Okay, and we'll have more to say about this later, but for now, your group project is a case study. You'll be answering together using Google Docs and other online collaboration tools that you'll be able to provide a good, solid response. Okay, 20% of your grade. A participant observation report. You will be expected to, during the course of this term, visit a church service that is outside of your own tradition, preferably outside of your own culture as well. And you'll be answering some basic social scientific questions. I have those questions for you. I'm going to give them to you. You are going to take them with you and leave them in your car. And you're going to go into the church service and you're going to observe what you see. And then you're going to come out to your car and you're going to write furiously down in the car what you saw in relation to the questions on the page. Okay? You are going to be a worshiper in another tradition, and you are going to emerge as a social science person who can provide an analysis and observation about what did you witness. Okay. This assignment is due the end of week 10, but you should know that you must visit your site before then. So you can be thinking now, when can I find a Sunday or Saturday to visit a church that worships in a different tradition than my own? I ask that you choose a Christian church. Okay, so I ask that you, this is since this course is dealing primarily with with worship as a Christian practice, while there's a lot to be gained from visiting a Jewish synagogue or to visit Muslim worship, or to visit a Hindu temple, or to visit a Baha'i temple, what this course is focused on is Christian practices. So I'd ask that you stay within the Christian tradition. Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, Evangelical, mainline, stay within Orthodox Christian tradition. Okay? Finally, your life rule final paper is worth 20% of the grade. And this is your final paper due Friday, December 12th. And it will be roughly a 1,250 word essay, which establishes for you a life rule, okay, which is a short document that basically is how you are going to take all this material you've learned and how you're going to keep it before you as you're at Fuller Seminary. Okay, so you'll be writing, and I'll give you some more detailed assignment sheet later, but you're going to be writing basically a charter for yourself that you have determined that at Fuller Seminary, here is the rhythm of prayer and worship in a corporate and private and personal way that is going to be most beneficial and attainable for you. Okay, those are the assignments for the course. Let's take a look at the let's take a look at the very last sheet, which is our, you can read the academic integrity statement online. Let's take a look at our schedule. Okay. Here's our schedule for the course. You can see the first half of the course, essentially weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5 are dealing with biblical foundations of worship. So we're going to be talking mostly about Scripture, the Old Testament, Psalms, New Testament, and the New Testament and beyond. Okay, and for each of these weeks, there'll be a screencast where I'm going to get to do some drawing on the screen, and you're going to get to hear me lecture on some of these topics. You'll do some reading. You can see the assigned reading here. You can see that certain weeks we have scripture readings for you to do. So you'll notice that the first half of the course, you're expected to kind of read these scripture passages and have them in your minds as we come into the lectures. And then during the second half of the course, when we get to contemporary liturgical practices, we're going to be engaging in daily prayer. So I'm going to post on the Moodle page a morning prayer and an evening prayer, a short liturgy for you to go through. This will integrate psalms and scripture readings and prayers, and I hope that for you it will be a helpful exercise. Okay. Do note that on the secondary reading list, you can see CR on occasion. These are course reader. You can find them on the course e-reserves for our course. Okay, and you'll just note that on the reading list, I just give you author's last name and page numbers. So if there are no page numbers, then the expectation is that you're reading the entirety of that piece. So when I say Ballantine, I mean all of Ballantine on the course reserves. Okay? That is our course, friends, and I am very, very excited about it, and I can't wait to jump in. So I have a couple other screencasts to do for you. First off, I'm going to go over a little bit more about the Moodle page, and then I'm going to go over a little bit more about how to submit assignments. All right, that's all I've got for you now. See you in a little bit. Bye.